How's it going, guys? Welcome to VFG TV Reviews, and this is my review for It. Welcome to Derry Season 1, Episode 3. Now you see it. Guys, drop that like. If you could, throw a share in there. Leave a comment. I'd sure love to hear it, read it, and embrace all you great people. Thank you so very much. Now, let's get right into this. There's a lot going on with this episode. We'll start with the kids because that was pretty much one of the ones that was the most egregious things that happened in this episode. So the kids have decided that they are going to, they need to get evidence. She wants to go, Lily, she wants to go to the cops. She wants to get Ronnie's dad off, but they need proof. Nobody's going to believe them. As you know, that adults don't believe kids here because it's the control of Pennywise. It's the control of it. They decide to go to the Richie, who is Cuban, which I figure is going to play later in the season because of tensions with the Cuban Missile Crisis. Richie tells them, "Oh yeah, there's this ritual that you can do that you can summon the dead to you." And they're like, "Okay, we're gonna go out to the cemetery. We're gonna do this ritual, and then the ghosts will come around, and we'll get the photos of the ghosts, or we'll draw it out." And so they go to the cemetery, they do the ritual, they get attacked by it, but he's using ghost forms because he uses whatever you most fear, and they're all scared of ghosts right now, so they use ghosts in a very bad green screens / CGI shit that just looked horrible. You could tell the kids that are supposed to be riding bikes were stationary, like they weren't really moving until a couple of scenes where they get a shot of them going like by and everything. It felt very it felt very bad. It felt like they could have done way better and they didn't do it. But they're taking these photos, all the ghosts of Maddie, everybody who's died recently, like of them, and then Will Hanlon goes into one of the mausoleums and he snaps a shot of Pennywise, the clown, as you can see, and they end up going to the cops. Obviously, none of the ghosts are in the photos. Either they're not in the photo or the adults can't see it, but Pennywise is still in the photo, which they're like, "You're showing us a picture of a statue?" And then they get threatened by the chief of police, who is a Bauer, so it doesn't work, right? So now they're off to try to figure out the next plan of what they can do. So now we get over to Leroy Hanlon. He basically gets told, "You're going to take up Dick Halloran up in a helicopter. He's going to direct you on where to go." This also gives us a backstory of General Shaw and Rose were friends, but General Shaw did not remember her after he left Derry at a young age. And we get our first look at people that are saying it's Mrs. Kirsch with the Pennywise thing at a circus, and this is General Shaw when he was a little kid, and he goes through one of their the wolf boy, the bearded lady type thing, and he gets scared by this skeleton man. Well, he ends up going off into the forest when he's out messing around, like playing with Rose and while they're kids, and he goes in and he gets attacked by Pennywise in the western woods, who is taking the form of the skeleton man, and Rose ends up using a slingshot and hitting it in the eye, and you see the blood float up as we've seen in the movies. Shaw remembers that, but he gets his mind jogged because Rose is a part of the Indians that are with the protected lands and everything, and we know the military is on their land, so they're trying to stop them from finding the beacons. He comes back and he remembers Rose, and then they remember what happened. So General Shaw gives Dick Halloran a box that has a slingshot in it, and it's basically used as a divining rod to determine where it's at. And Dick sees it, and it asks him, "Who the hell are you?" And Dick ends up like he's in a helicopter, so he ends up opening the back hatch, and he's about to die, and Leroy Halloran comes and saves him. He ends up inviting him over to dinner, and they have dinner, and then he tells him, "Hey, I felt this." You find out that he was in the room when Leroy originally got attacked. Then he tells Dick Halloran that don't ever use that ability on me again, and kind of gets away with him. But they're becoming friends, and they're trying to figure out what this is, what they're going for, and all this other shit. This episode was really good, man. Like I said, there was a couple of one egregious thing, which, I mean, I guess it's what they can do on a TV budget. I understand, but I definitely disliked all the cemetery scene. I don't think it was cool at all. Like, it just seemed overly the top, really goofy looking. I love that we're peeling away what Dick can do. I love that they put him in this series. He is in the book, but he's in a very small role. They definitely upped his role with this. Everything with Rose and her people, like, this is doing great. This is doing gangbusters. I love it, but I felt this episode was a little bit weaker than the last two we got. So where does this lie on my red balloon scale? It is a 3. This was really fun, though. I really dug it. This was good. This was good. It just felt a little weaker than the first 2 episodes that we got, which I understand. It's hard to keep that momentum going. Let me know down below, did you guys enjoy episode 3 of It, Welcome to Derry? I'd sure love to hear your guys' thoughts. Give us that like, give us a subscribe. Thank you so very much, and I will see you in my next show. Bye.